live.
It's the DanYo&Tita podcast.
Yeah.
So it's 50?
50, no, it's like 41 or something. 40? I don't even remember.
We don't know what episode.
A lot.
We getting close to the year. That's why I know.
Yeah, man.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Tita.
Aisha.
I'm Dip to the Lean.
We have a special guest in the building.
Very special guest. Honored.
Yes.
Round of applause.
Mister. You announce it, right?
We got mayor candidate Tim Seay in the house today, representing his candidacy, and we're definitely going to be here to try to help him out to get him in the
yes, sir.
in the
Stop
house.
Playing.
Definitely. So welcome to the show.
Before I get in the office.
To ask you about. I know a lot of people probably ask you a lot of questions about the Freemasonry and everything.
Sure.
And I know some people probably ask you to maybe kick back a little bit on that and maybe not talk about it as much. But I see that you're very proud of being a Grandmaster in the Freemasonry. Do you think it's going to be an issue for you? Because I know a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about Freemasonry and the groups and the secrecy and things like that. Do you think there's going to be an issue?
It's going to be an issue no matter what.
Right.
But I'm not here to run from the organization that I run. I run my organization proudly. We serve the community. We take good men and make them better.
Okay.
And that's what we do. Yep. Now, we have a lot of stereotypes in just about anything we do.
Right, right.
I will not practice their ignorance. So if you want to know about masonry, you should go through the proper channels and find out about it.
Definitely.
Always do your homework. Now, you can't believe everything that you read.
Right.
So I am that person who actually tells the truth. I'm not afraid to say that, and I'm proud to be a Mason.
Wow.
Not only am I a Mason, I head the organization.
Wow, that's awesome. Heading the organization, I mean, and I know they do a lot for the community, you know, everything, and let the people know a little bit of some of the things that the Masons do and the Freemasons do in this area.
Since I became Grand Master in 2016, we've raised over $1 million for academic scholarship.
Wow.
We also incorporated trade scholarships. People that really are not going to school, but we take them to trade.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I believe that's a big like I was saying, misconception that people don't really get the clear picture of what they do. And scholarships and helping children, that's awesome. And that's what it's about. And that's what I think people need to clearly understand, the leadership that you guys do in the community, that really is what makes it you guys important for Phoenix and also country cities across the country.
That's correct, across the United States.
Definitely.
And I am what they call a Sovereign Grand Inspector General of the United States Supreme Council.
There you go.
So not only do we serve Arizona, we serve the whole United States.
There you go.
Some of our older Masons, it was kind of rough for them to be out and exposed because of the stereotype. But today is a new time. It's a new time for where we do stand up, and we stand up proudly.
That's good, man. And I really stand up for that. Or I really am I was look for the words, but I'm with you on being clear about the Freemasons because, like I said, I've come up and I've heard all the people talking about things that they really don't know too much about, and I've met a lot of Masons in my life, and they're all been pro-community and pro-black and pro efficiency for the community. You know what I mean? And I believe that's what they are about. And people need to read up more if they are confused about it instead of just believing what other people say. They need to come in and get more educated on that situation.
And that's in any category.
Right. Most definitely. All right, we want to having a few technical difficulties.
We good.
We good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
You know, I got to speak to you. I think it was Thursday or Wednesday.
Yes.
And the first thing you said to me, "Am I a voter?" I said, "Yes, I am now."
Well, that's the thing. We are the one that always complain about what's actually going on. Complain about the results.
Right.
That's real.
You can't complain about the results.
That's real.
So if you don't vote and you're on the sidelines complaining, this and that, and when you really haven't educated yourself about the process or know the history about voting, and I say this because I grew up in the civil rights movement.
Okay.
And in 1964, July 2nd, we earned that right as a civil right movement. You know, August 6th, 1965.
Wow.
We earned that right.
Right.
To vote.
Yeah,
definitely.
What most people don't understand is that people have died for us to have that right.
Definitely.
And we should be ashamed for ourselves.
We definitely should.
If we can sit on the side where our forefathers has died for us to have that right to vote, we need to take advantage of that.
Understand
Definitely.
And like you said about Freemasonry and stereotypes, the same thing goes with voting.
Right.
Voting is the most powerful tool that we have.
Definitely.
That's free.
Definitely.
So we need to take advantage of it.
Definitely.
So when you did call me and ask me, you were talking about, are you a registered voter? Because if you're not a registered voter, we're having a different conversation.
Right.
And it will be off the air.
Right. And, I was talking to you too about the concept of why I didn't. I'm the first to admit that I didn't vote the last election, and me and Dib had this conversation on and off the air that I didn't feel like both candidates deserved to be up there. Wasn't a Hillary fan.
Sure.
Definitely wasn't a Trump fan.
Sure.
So I came to the concept of two wrongs don't make a right.
Right.
And I'm forced to be voting for somebody that I don't think should be leading this country. What do you think about that?
Sure. Let's play the numbers game, because the majority of, I'm gonna say, our culture in 2008, we had the highest of us to register to vote, and that's when Obama ran.
Right. Right.
And most people, they didn't pose that question. What's your platform? We didn't really care about a platform. We cared about the opportunity that we were going to have.
True.
Right?
Yes,
So after 2012, and he came out of, when he came out of office, a lot of us decided not to vote anymore.
Right.
But the problem is we forgot about the numbers.
Yeah.
And Trump played to those numbers.
Definitely.
He knew that, okay, they're going to have a problem with Hillary. I know they probably won't like me, and I'm not going to vote.
Yeah, true.
And he played the numbers.
Yeah.
Because if you don't vote, those go another way. The percentage go down.
That's true.
And he
That's
counted
true.
on that.
Yeah.
So we need to get to the table and vote for us, whether
Definitely.
you're voting for your particular party or for the person that you like. We have to place a vote.
Definitely.
But we're only 13% in the United States.
Right.
Yeah.
We say 13% because a lot of us haven't did census. A lot of us are not registered to vote.
Right.
So we don't count.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's time to stop.
Yeah.
In today's age of online, visceral, anger, fake news, how do you try to swim through all those issues and try to make sure that people get a clear answer of who you are and what you're trying to bring to the table?
Well, for one thing, I'm truly not a politician.
Okay.
I'm a humanitarian.
Okay.
So I serve the people regardless. And it's not about color or anything like that. I serve people who are in need. So when I was asked to run for mayor, and that is the platform. So when I understand the platform of what are you going to do when you get in there? Okay, we have to slow down for a little bit. I have to get to the table first. So let me get to the table first.
Okay.
Because I've been in management all my life.
Okay.
So this is nothing but a management job. Do I really want it? Yeah, I need to kick that door in so we can have that opportunity so we can move forward.
Outsider coming in, do you think it was a lack of leadership in the Phoenix area to be able to get a black mayor or a black governor?
I wouldn't say leadership. Now, what I do, you kind of analyze things and break things down. So you ask your question, well, why? Or why not? So I try to do my research, and I've done my research, and we have some pretty intelligent African Americans here in Arizona. Are they willing to take that chance, right? Are they willing to take that hit? If you're not willing to sacrifice, back it down.
Right.
Now, if you're working for the city of Phoenix and stuff like that, and they've given you position, and most of us are not quite financially to be set up to take on that type of role. Right. So if you have little kids, you have a wife, you have a house, they can kind of control you that way. Hey, be quiet, sit down, or I'll cut your overtime.
Right.
Or we can't really afford to take that chance. But I'm in a position where my kids are grown, and I do not work for anyone. And if you threaten me, coming from Chicago, that's a different category.
I see you own a couple of businesses in Phoenix in here, but you have a bar, a couple other things. Let's talk about some of the companies that you were able to start when you got to Phoenix.
Oh, I'm glad you did a little research. Well, I did own a bar, and I was doing that for the community, for a place to build a culture.
Okay.
And so I had that for a little while, and then of course I owned some nonprofit organizations that I became pretty successful at.
Okay.
And I utilized those tools to pay it forward. So I teach business classes, nonprofit classes, getting your rights restored, which you've seen. And I do all that for free.
Wow.
And most people ask, why do I do it for free? Because I feel like I'm in an okay situation, and it's time for me to pay it back forward.
Right.
That's it. So when you come to my class and you learn about the business class, the 501c class, getting your rights restored, I only ask for one thing: teach someone else.
I like that.
That's definitely.
I like that.
And that's what we need. Yeah, that's what we need. Definitely. I have one more quick question. I know we're hitting you with a lot of questions, but I know your primary focus will be economic development of the city. So how can you interpret and get black people more into that mix in the area, for they can be more into the economic development that happens in the cities when more of the companies that's coming, the bigger companies that's coming? How can we get more black corporations and black owners and help the black community of Phoenix a little bit more to gain more of an economic, advantage?
Well, first of all, is education. We have to promote the education. And the second thing, what I've noticed, you have to be at these certain meetings in Phoenix.
Yeah.
You have to be down at development planning. You have to be down there at City Hall when they're having their meetings. Because if you don't know what's going on, and you can't play the game.
That's real.
If you can't get on the field, there's no way you can get to first base.
Definitely.
So you have to get to first base and know what's going on. Now, I'm not, when I say this, I'm not talking about our culture in general. But when one person makes it in the culture and they keep it to themselves, it becomes isolated because we're not taught to share. We have to be in a field where we have to share this information. Because when there's one there, and it's power. But when you get a group, it's more powerful. So when you get a group together, and then you start sharing, you start taking care of your community, your culture. Now, we take Asians. There's no way I can go over there to Chinatown and open up a barbecue shop.
No.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
No.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
Right.
There's no way I'm going to go there on Broadway and 18th and open up a tire shop. It's not going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to happen. So we have to teach ourselves to build our own community. We are the biggest spenders of money.
True.
We just don't spend it with ourselves.
Right. Don't invest in ourselves. Yep.
I know. When Obama was in office, a lot of African Americans are kind of disappointed that he wasn't doing enough for the community.
Right.
But you're in a position where you have to run a whole country.
Right.
Can't just cater to everybody. Do you feel like in that mayor position, the African American, your voters are going to expect you to do something for the African American community.
Sure.
But at the same time, you're in that position, you're in that mayor position where you have to cater to everybody.
Sure.
You think you think they're going to be looking at you heavily for that?
Of course. I mean, that's a natural. And you said when Obama got in there, it's disappointing when I do hear African Americans say, you did nothing for me.
Right.
They have no idea what it took for him to get to be the president.
Yeah.
And the first United States. Leave that man alone.
Right.
Because he has a heavy burden as it is.
Yeah.
There's no way that he's going to fight them and fight us too.
Right.
So respect that.
Right.
And it's going to be the same thing when I run for mayor.
Because you're the first. Right?
I'll be the first. And anybody in the first of anything carries a heavy load.
Yes.
Right.
And we have to understand that.
Definitely.
It carries a heavy load because he is taking all the hits.
Definitely.
Obama took all the hits for us.
Definitely.
Jackie Robinson took all the hits for us.
Yep.
Muhammad Ali took all the hits for us.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying for real talk now,
Right.
you know, and you can edit and cut this if you want.
Right.
No. Keep it
We have to support each other.
Yeah.
Right.
It's nonsense. So he couldn't do anything for me.
Right.
Are you serious?
Right.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's not the deal there.
Yeah.
They should have been getting behind him to support him.
That's
Yeah.
real.
It took some folks to get him in there.
Mm-hmm.
And in my eyes, the most wise, the most intelligent person didn't have no trouble, didn't get in no trouble,
Right.
no affairs.
Right.
No, leave that man alone.
Yeah,
He did his job.
Right.
He did his job.
He
And
did a great
it well.
job.
Definitely.
He did it
He
well.
did a great job.
He did it well. So
Definitely.
if you ask me, am I run across with him, man? Sure. And I'll handle that.
I don't know if you answer. What are you running as, boss? The Democrat or
The mayoral race is bipartisan. Yeah, but I am a Democrat. But
You're a Democrat,
the
okay.
mayoral race for edification is bipartisan.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
See, I learned
bipartisan.
something. See,
Yeah, man. Independent can also be a mayor if they gain enough votes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure.
Now,
it's bipartisan.
Right. I wanted to ask, do you see a pathway, or how do you see yourself to be able to garner enough votes, or your pathway to the office? Have you put that idea together, or you have a plan that you see that you can get enough votes to be able to get into the office, or to get Mayor Gallego out of office? Do you have a pathway, or are you just?
Well, now we're going to talk about numbers. I'm just talking numbers now.
Okay.
It took 102,000 votes for her to get in.
Right.
There's 108,000 blacks in Phoenix.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying all blacks are going to vote for me,
Right.
but they should.
Right.
They should. If we're going to come together, let's come together. And of course, I'm in the Latin community. I speak 5 different languages, and
Wow.
I can go wherever I want to go to speak any language that I please. And so to affiliate that, and I have been doing that, and they're galvanizing. They're coming this way.
Okay.
Now the thing is, it's going to be loyalty.
Right.
It's loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I say this: if you come up to me, no matter what color you are, why should I vote for you?
Right.
And the first thing I'm gonna ask: are you registered to vote?
Right.
And if you tell me no, we have no business communicating.
Right.
Yes, we don't.
Right.
We don't. Now, and I'll turn the question: are you registered to vote? And if you tell me no, okay, now it's my turn. Why are you not registered to
Right.
vote?
Right.
Now I'm putting the candidacy to the side. Now we have to talk some knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not registered to vote?
Right.
So before you try to communicate with me, make sure you have your tools to come to communicate with me.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them that. So when you come to me, so well, what's your platform? I say, okay, what do you mean? What do you want to know about resolutions, proclamations? You want to know about the Constitution? You want to know about the Charter of Things? What do you want to know?
Right.
Because you asking me the questions, you should be prepared.
Right.
You should be prepared. Because if you want to go by what everybody else say, what's your platform, and you have no idea what it is,
Right.
it's time for education.
Right.
It's time for education.
And
so we have to know before you approach me, be prepared. Because I'm prepared.
Oh,
I'm prepared. I'm prepared.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
so if you come that way, I prefer you to pull me off to the side
Mm-hmm.
and say, I want to ask you the right question and give me some knowledge, and I'll give you what I have. I give you all the knowledge that I have, because when I ran the first time, I jumped in the race at the end, so it was a learning tool. No one wanted to share any information with me.
Right.
So I had to learn it on my own.
Yeah.
So when I kick this door in to be mayor, the followers that's coming behind me won't have to go through what
Right.
I went through. Because
Right.
I'll teach them to come forward.
Mm-hmm.
So as we say, once we get Phoenix, we're not giving it back.
I like that. I like that.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, a path of 100,000. I mean, I'm just thinking to myself,
Yes.
you may have to do a little drive to get some people to register to vote. Have you thought about that, to maybe get more young people register to vote, maybe to get some things, some ideas out there, to maybe to help that, to get a little some of the younger people to vote? And I mean, I'm just one of my ideas I'm just throwing out, because you may need that, because that's kind of the people who don't come out. And if you can get them to come out, you definitely have a better chance to win out here. And out here, definitely.
Sure, and on my Tim C for Mayor page, I've put that out from the statistics from 18 to 30.
Right.
They don't really vote. They really don't care about voting.
Don't vote
So
at all.
how am I gonna get them to the table?
Right.
So my campaign team, I have a young man that's 22 years old. He's built his own team.
Okay.
And he's getting those votes for me. He's getting them to register to vote, and I made him the lead person on that.
Okay.
You know, and I don't want to interfere with that.
Okay.
Right.
And what he's getting is training and knowledge. Because
Okay.
he say once we make history, he's going to be a valuable asset.
Right. Right.
So I also have my other group from 25 to 45, how you met Aaron, which is most of the music industry and stuff like that.
Right.
They didn't really care about that.
Right.
But he has come forward, and he is going to push that for me.
Okay.
He's going to push that for me.
All right.
So
Right.
the problem what I ran into is from that 18 to 45, a lot of us had some problems.
Yes.
Whether it was record, a lot of them had the, we do things when we were younger,
Right.
of course.
Right.
You get into trouble.
Right.
That's on your record.
Definitely.
So if you start doing numbers, now you can't vote.
Right.
If you can't get to the table, them numbers that people don't understand. So I said, okay, let me teach myself about getting rights restored.
Okay.
So I could be a valuable tool in that. So like when you met Aaron, that was the whole purpose. It's a whole lot in that group that couldn't get to the table anyway. You got to
Okay.
get your rights restored.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me take care of that.
Okay.
Then you're going to register to vote.
Right.
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 And then you're going to sign my petition.
Right.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
You know,
sir.
hey, we got to take care of each other.
Right.
Yes, we do.
Definitely.
So that's the main problem that I found, that most people did not, in that age group, didn't want to vote because they didn't really care. They did not, I'm not into politics. We
Right.
must understand politics is involved in everything we do.
Everything
Right.
we do.
I mean, everything.
Everything.
We could go underground. We can. But if we're gonna make some changes, we got to get involved.
Yeah.
But how do we actually get the youth, like teenagers, to start caring about politics? Because I'm gonna be real, I knew about politics, but I really didn't dive deep into it. Probably these last 3 years.
Well, here in Arizona, now this is just my thought, and I probably can push a bill for that. I think like they used to do back in the day. Once you turn 18, you get drafted, and you can go to war, and you can die for your country and all this stuff.
Right.
But they don't teach you how to vote.
No, they don't. Yeah.
So they don't want to teach you that.
No.
I believe
They do send you out a card that's almost like a draft card.
Yeah.
Telling you that, okay, your 18th birthday is approaching. You can vote this year.
exactly right.
Here's how you need to go ahead and register how to vote. But I think most people that are young, like myself,
I was going to say
literally,
that.
I looked at the card, I read it,
And throw it to the side.
and threw it away.
Exactly
Like,
right. Exactly right. Because
Right.
that doesn't concern you, because you're like, I'm thinking what I need to vote for anyway. I'm trying to go to college, and
Right. It's like
I'm
those
trying to find
younger
out where my
people have-
boyfriend is at, or
Right.
trying to find where my girlfriend
Right.
is at.
Right.
That's not a concern, and we all are like that.
Definitely.
We are, when we're young, we don't think about that, and that's a process that we're not taught.
Right.
And we're not taught that. So that's where the education part comes in.
Definitely.
In our schools, because here in Arizona they don't teach Black history. They don't really do anything like that. But they should be taught, because it's the law. Like you said, 18, you're able to vote.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Die, you able to die for the country.
No, when you're 18, you're not thinking about that. You're
Right.
thinking about getting to 21 so you can
Drink.
get that get that beer
Definitely.
legally.
Right. That's all it's
that's
about.
what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
So it's the education part, and it's in our families and community where we have to teach that.
Right.
Yeah, because if we start them early, like the young man that I have, by the time he's 26, 27, he'd be a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he'd be a beast.
I don't
but
think
you got to pay it forward.
I don't think people realize how much politics and politicians affect our everyday lives, and how much their decisions affect how much taxes, or where we go to school, or which hospitals, or which loans or that you can and cannot get, the percentage of your homes, the tax rates. People don't realize all those things. They can go out and make a difference and make a change for those things if you want to. I mean, some people just think there's nothing we can do. They're gonna do what they want to do. But if we together, we can make a difference, and I think people just don't understand that, and they miss that value of what can come if we did.
Well, are they fearing that politicians in general are not of their word?
Well, they're not listening, right? Right.
They actually listen to us. They have their own agenda.
Yeah. That's the problem too. Is reaching them, and
it's a lot that's like that. But when we begin, like you said, we have to understand about voting, and like you said, the census. The majority of us don't even do the census.
No.
We take it and throw it in the garbage.
Right.
And you wonder why, how we're segregated in the city, and we're not getting any funding.
Right.
Because when you got the census, you threw it away.
Right.
So you're not counted.
Right.
You're not counted at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So the funding will never get to you. That city will always stay poor because we're too busy hiding.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you do do the census, right, you got 4 in your house, you mark 1 yourself and turn it in.
Right.
Right? Those other 3 don't count. So they don't know the formula is calculated for the budget to come to that particular city or that particular state, and it's divided up like that. And that's how the richer cities stay rich, because they take care of this.
They definitely do.
They take care of their voting, and they keep getting the funding.
Yeah.
That's why we have to teach the lower income communities how to get to that funding.
Right.
Now you start getting to that funding, you're gonna get
You can make a difference in your
streets
city.
repaired. You get
Right.
your streets repaired. You
Right.
get things of that nature. And they say, well, why you haven't come over here to take care of the low income, because you didn't fill out the census. Most of you are not registered voters, so you're not even on the map.
Right.
Yeah.
No one's going to listen to you if you're not there,
Right.
telling them what you need.
That's why we need a person to get into these offices that will speak about these things, and it's for the people. Actually, for the people.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, the mayor, I believe, only makes whatever it is, and not enough. It's not enough to take the punishment for that. So my punishment is to get in there and to be heard and get to the table and speak for us.
Definitely.
The community, and it doesn't matter if you're black, white, whatever.
Right.
I'm here to speak for the people.
You're talking to you on the phone, just talking to you now, so that I can see that you actually care about the people in the community. So definitely, I like that. Right. Yeah. We need somebody like you to be in that position.
Okay. I'm glad you registered to vote the other day.
I got yelled at by after the Trump election.
Yes.
I got yelled at by Dick right here. So I got
Sure.
I had my head down. I went in there and I registered.
Disappointed, man.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
But take care of all the fields. When it's time to vote, because you're voting for your representation. And that's why I say, if you don't vote, don't complain about the results.
Yeah.
You got no room.
That's real.
Because you didn't place that ballot, so you got no room. So yeah. So
Tita, you registered?
I'm registered.
you sure?
You believe so?
Hey, PM, I got me another one. I got me another one.
I didn't know last convention because Daniel had a good argument.
come the excuses.
I explained
all
myself.
of them, huh?
Here they
You
come.
registered to vote?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Yeah, shit.
What city
Hey.
you live in?
I live in Phoenix.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Because I can find out if you registered.
I have been voting since I was
Good.
I turned 18, and then I didn't vote in that election because it wasn't a presidential election. I didn't really know much about it.
Sure.
So I probably voted when I turned 20, my first time.
Okay.
And ever since then, you've
And
been
I've
voting.
ever
Yeah.
since.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Primaries.
That's
good.
rare. Very
Everything.
rare.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
rare.
it's very rare.
It is
Because I
rare.
didn't start voting myself till I was like
But pass
24.
it forward, because this is a subject that when we talk amongst ourselves that really go over our head, and we really don't want to listen to that. You
Right.
know, we really don't. But this is very important.
Very
It's
important.
very important.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I can go through dates and time of people that actually died for us to vote. You know, and I start with Mega Evan, 1963, June 12th. He was shot in his driveway in front of his wife and kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That was 63.
Wow.
You remember September 15, 1963 in Birmingham, Alabama, 4 beautiful girls
Blown up. Yeah.
lost their life.
Right.
Right? And
Yeah.
then we can skip up to some days. We get to 1968, April 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Our man lost his life.
Right.
He died for us.
Definitely.
He died for us.
No, exactly. Yes.
Now
To
people forget. People forget the struggle from the 60s and 70s.
Are we losing our history? You think if the youth they don't know about
Not
history?
losing our history. They don't care about the history, or nor are they doing any research
Okay.
for history.
But it's also not being presented to them as well, right?
And it's correct, but you know, we're in a time and age where everything is instantaneous. We can Google things if that's your interest.
Right.
You know.
Right.
You know, because I'm a walking Google. Because I figured in 1863, Proclamation of Emancipation was signed, right?
Right.
January 1st.
Right.
By Abraham Lincoln,
You got
16th president, right?
All your dates. So
I don't play with that.
Right.
That's why I say.
Yeah.
That's why I say because I know the history. I understand the history, and I understand how important it is.
Right. Yes, sir.
But if they can keep in our eyes and focus, that if we can keep them to not think this is important, we can always stay in control and
that's
keep
real.
them at a level where they can gain no power.
That's real. No, that's 100%.
We have to understand that. We have to understand
Definitely.
that. But if you come in there with the knowledge and you can understand the Constitution, you know, 14th Amendment, you can stand all those things, you may become a threat,
Right.
and that's okay. And that's why I say I'm here to take those threats.
Yes, sir. Also, I know a large community out here is the Hispanic community.
Definitely.
They're going through a lot.
Yeah, hola, ¿cómo estás?
And
Está bajando duro, que quieres comer? All my amigos.
Zeta said, I understood what he said.
Escúcheme. Please, por favor. Yeah. See?
Yes, sir.
And I carry 4 other languages also, so I can carry that. Man, you know what? 5. Because I can talk a little jive, too. You know,
Japanese, Spanish, English,
French.
Oh, teacher.
Wow.
You don't know French, teacher?
I speak a little French.
No, okay, then. So we got to come and practice. Matter of fact, since you didn't understand that you're not registered to vote, we're going to do it in all languages. We can get that done. Okay.
You heard German, and I'll teach you sign language.
Silent.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm not good in sign language, so if you could teach me something, I'm willing to learn.
I'll say that you are.
Definitely.
Because if I get that under my belt, boy, I'd really be a
He's gonna be the translator doing signs.
There's a
Why
lot
he
of
doing
people
up there
in the deaf community that isn't really, because from where I'm from a really small town.
Sure.
So when I came over here, and then somebody, they're like, "Oh, you're from out," they're like, because they recognized me, I was from out of town, and then they're like, "Oh," they're like, "Oh, sorry," and then I'm like, "Oh, it's fine," and then he's like, like, it's like people don't really talk to me because and I'm like, Phoenix is so big, there should be more people that know the language, or at least the basic stuff.
Sure.
But nope.
No.
He said that it's a really small percentage, from like a 5 to a 10%.
Wow.
It is sad.
And
but
there's a lot of people that have family that are deaf that don't sign. So,
I probably can go as far as I can spell my first name.
but it's still something. Like a lot
Sure.
of people that are deaf recognize when people try to conversate and stuff.
Yeah,
Instead
yeah.
of yelling loud, like that's gonna make
Right.
a difference.
Yeah.
The deaf community is very strong in Phoenix.
Well, if you could teach me that, I would definitely. I'm a quick learner because I tell you when I walk in the room, I walk in the room with my head up, and I demand that attention.
Yeah.
I do. And if you start getting off to the side, you start talking a different language, I'm gonna know what you're talking about.
Right.
And I want to be prepared myself to do that. So yeah, if education and knowledge is always I love getting up under my belt, and you'd be surprised how fast I can learn. I just never particularly was interested in that, but that's a valuable tool to have in your toolbox.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah. So with the Hispanic community, I know they're looking for someone to definitely, help with situations. They got a lot going on. How do you feel about there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, like the main thing is the sanctuary cities. I don't know if Phoenix is listed as
we're not a sanctuary
not,
city.
No.
It could, if we don't get a good control, it could move that way. But we're not a sanctuary city. Okay. Now you got to also remember, the state is probably purple.
Definitely,
purple, right?
It's moving that way. Yeah,
it's probably
right.
purple right now. But just like yourself, you came from California.
Yeah,
there's a good chance we'll turn it blue.
Right.
And there's a fear of that. But there's so many that's moving from California that are Democrats. You could turn this state blue, which
Definitely.
for 100 years is completely red.
Yeah, definitely.
So and it can bring some changes about. So, but when you turn it blue, you actually have to be involved and get to the table. If not, it won't make a difference.
Right.
It won't make a difference.
Right.
So just like you're saying, that's how we help each other. Because when you get like minds start thinking together, and then we start coming together.
Right.
And if we put our percentages together, black and brown,
Right.
watch
Heavy,
out.
yeah,
Right, definitely.
I'm just saying because we are all one.
Yeah.
We're all one.
Definitely.
And we can't go about hating each other.
Right.
Because we won't get anything done.
Definitely.
Yeah. Nobody understands that we're all immigrants. Like
That's
if
it.
you're not Native American,
That's
you're
it.
not born here. So
That's it.
But a lot of people see, they separate themselves by class and then by race.
Sure.
And then by how much they're educated, which
Sure.
is not education doesn't come from school. It comes from how you're raised to to schooling. Just because you don't have a piece of paper and everything.
Sure, but here's the thing about education, and I'm probably the oldest one in the room. I'm probably the oldest one in the room. Let me look. Yeah, probably the oldest one in the room. Yeah. But like you remember the time when Black and Brown started educating themselves. It was a few in the '60s that had degrees and stuff like that. '70s we started becoming in the workforce, and Black and Brown started to get themselves educated, right? They started having degrees, and then we got to '80s, right? They played that against us, right? They said, okay, now you're overeducated, right. So you still can't get the job. You know what I mean? So they played the education to a bar, because it's a whole lot of people that's in power to have a liquor education, right? But we can't do that. That's the first thing they're gonna do, That's the first thing they're gonna say. Well, okay, you don't have a degree. Well, you got a person that's ahead of me don't have a degree either. Yeah.
And it goes from different from going to a community college to Harvard and all those. Sure. So a lot of people just base themselves. Oh well, I'm a sixth generation person, unless seeing people how they struggle from going from a first generation.
Well, nepotism. Yeah. It's nepotism on the other fence is always prominent. Right. It's always prominent, but we have to educate ourselves in many fields. In many fields. And like you say, if you carry yourself the right way, like you say, I got pieces of paper of the yin yang, but when I throw it on the table, that don't mean anything. It don't. It's how I'm gonna carry myself, right. and you willing to challenge me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want to apologize for the ring. We have a line people call, so
we
had a phone call, but
Hey, Stephanie thought my Spanish was good. Huh? Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah, so we had somebody calling to the line, but you were talking, so I didn't want to interrupt. Yeah, we had a couple people tuned in.
She told you to leave Tita alone, Daniel.
Yeah, I tried giving making him understand other languages, but as a husband that he plays this role really good, he doesn't take me serious, and then he'll be like, and then I'll get frustrated, and it's just like, no.
So do you cuss him out in Spanish?
In sign language.
In sign language. Okay.
Wow, you get cussed out in all type languages.
I get it at home.
That must be dope.
But he learned that now, so I can't do that no more.
It's Black and Brown love. Yeah. We would like to play a game with you if you want to play a game real quick.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Are you sure you want to play?
Is it a number game?
No.
If it's a number game, I'm going to say put your 50 cents on the table.
I don't know. See, it's Aisha's game. So there was
Aisha's game.
We love people that know their stuff and their histories and stuff. So hopefully your facts are as correct as the questions are.
Oh, okay, sure.
We're going to see how much knowledge he knows.
If you read the small letters, beware.
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 Oh, right. You're trying to set me up for something. Let's go.
Okay, so we got 5 questions.
5 questions.
You get 3 out of 5 correct. We'll donate $50 to your charity of choice. You have 3 lifelines. You can Google one, skip one, or you may call someone.
A text, whatever.
What? I'm gonna have to see how smart my people are.
And your time is the time?
You got your phone?
You got 30 seconds per question.
2 phones right here.
Oh, so you're gonna help Google then?
If you want me to.
Okay, you do that. You do that. Me. Yeah, I'm picking you to do the Google.
You sure you don't? This might be better.
Are you ready?
You the man.
I'm ready.
Question 1. What year did Arizona join the United States?
1912.
On top of it.
Okay. Now. Okay. I'm coming to you.
You going to me?
I'm coming to you now.
You going to me?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And you got 10 seconds. Don't make me look bad. Don't make me look bad.
I'm scared now. No, don't put me on the spot. Okay.
Oh, okay, next question.
Question 2. What is Phoenix's airport code when you're searching for flights?
You know what? I fly all the time. Google that quick.
And you know it too.
How much time we got, Tita?
We have
16 seconds.
What? Hold on.
10
And
seconds.
you can't find it.
You messing up my money.
I'm sorry. I don't know the airport code. PHX.
There you go.
PHX is correct.
Oh,
It is.
You have 2 seconds left.
2 seconds left.
I just said it. I did not know what it was.
He had 2 seconds left.
I got you.
seconds
So
left.
now I'm out. I'm out now. You
Yeah,
can't
you're
use
out.
it again.
Nah.
Wow,
It is
2
PHX.
seconds left and answer the question.
Question
Wow,
3.
that was amazing. I ain't.
We might get them all right in the front, right?
He might get them all right.
Right.
Might go for the bonus question.
Oh,
Well, I'm okay. You my next life. And then I'm gonna go to her.
oh no. Well, technically I can't because I'm watching the. I can see the answers.
Question 3 is, the state of Arizona is located in which region?
Region.
Which region?
That's pretty easy.
Okay, you my lifeline.
What does he have left? Oh, a call?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm the call. Okay. Southwest.
Southwest is correct.
Okay.
Yeah. But you overthink it, then it'd be like,
Yeah, probably a bit better if you ask what's the largest county. That would probably be a little tough.
And that was the next question. No,
All right, I'm gonna lose it. Okay, if that's the next question, I'm gonna use him as my.
Question 4. Where does Arizona rank amongst the 50 states in geographical size?
You want me to answer? You got.
5th.
Is that your final answer?
are you talking about this? He's talking about the size of the. You said
Geographical
Arizona.
size.
He said the state, not the population of Phoenix.
Of Phoenix?
No, she said the geographical size of
10
Arizona.
seconds.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that would be a tough one. But I already got 3 right though.
That is true. You did.
Did he? I think it's 2 right. Isn't
No,
it?
you got 3.
You got 3.
Yeah, you got
got
3.
three.
You already got. Already got the donation.
The answer is 6.
6. I didn't know it was that.
When did it go up?
It's
I don't
6.
know, but
I don't know.
I'm gonna check into that.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm challenged that question.
Because state metropolitan is
All right.
it was 4, then we moved up to 5. So you saying we're 6 now?
6.
No.
Okay,
He
good
said
deal. Put that in your pocket.
Question 5.
You want to say that one?
Where in Arizona would you find the London Bridge?
Yeah, he's there.
Is that a trick question?
Nope.
Nope.
The London Bridge in Paris, Phoenix.
Paris, I ain't been there yet.
Yeah, are you asking what street? Is that what you're saying?
No,
No.
it's a city in Arizona. It has the London Bridge.
The London
From
Bridge.
London, it took the bridge when it was tore. The old one was tore down,
carried over.
and it took it here and
What
put
was
it in the
the
city.
answer?
Yeah. Go ahead. What is it? We already got the money. You can-
I don't remember the name of the city, but it's right at the edge of Nevada.
In California.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I can't remember the name of the city, but I remember driving over.
Lake Havasu City.
Lake Havasu.
I'm about to say
There you
that.
go.
Lake
It's
Havasu.
not like I know it, but I don't know it.
I don't know the name.
The name that you.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never even drove that. I can't remember driving over.
That's where all the spring breakers come up when they come when it is spring
Yeah.
break. Yeah, that's where they come and party, have a good time, man.
Yeah,
That's a place.
They brought that over for money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that's in Lake Havasu, right?
Mhm.
Because I got that in my memory bank now.
Yeah.
I do.
Chicago, you got to learn a little bit about the zona.
Yeah. That's right. You're
About the-
absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and just for kicks and giggles, the sixth and final question is:
Wait first before you start. You know, I need to see my money first.
where are we donating the $50? What charity?
If y'all actually register to vote, I'm good. I wouldn't need no.
No, we are registered to vote.
We are
I'm a
registered to vote.
registered Democrat, like
Well,
always.
Then you can take that 50 and save it for someone who really needs it.
But you got our vote.
All right,
Definitely.
Most definitely.
and make sure that, or you can take the next time that you invite me back, you know, have me some steak and eggs. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Final question is: where in Arizona can stone trees be found? Is it A, the Grand Canyon National Park, B,
It's a tough one.
Painted Desert, C, Saguaro National Park, or D, Petrified Forest National Park?
Google it.
I think it's D.
All right.
It's D.
It's D, right?
What'd you say it was? What?
It's D.
And what was D?
Petrified Forest.
No, I don't think so.
Petrified Forest, stone trees.
It's right. That's right, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. I had to bring you guys some steak. That's pretty good.
Oh, that was good. I would
Well,
like to,
Actually, that's excellent.
yeah. Go do our sponsors real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to read since you don't have glasses?
I had my glasses today. I should look it. Yeah, look. See, I got my glasses. But you can read it. I don't want to put them back on.
All right, we have www.waywardkid.com, your site for all your entertainment, news, sports, and lifestyle trends. We also have the Wayward Kid Foundation for all your editing program classes. We also have Sinful Oils, your all-day smell good. You can visit us on Facebook at Sinful Oils and More for all your smell good needs. We also have Miss Joanne Muhammad, who is our top donator.
Top donator.
Top
We have a
donator.
new sponsor. Is that right, Mr. Carl?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Who's our new sponsor?
Kiwi Juice Bar.
Kiwi Juice Bar.
I haven't checked them out.
I love my juice.
Man,
You're a registered voter?
I am.
Okay, good.
Kiwi Juice Bar.
Yeah,
Huh?
I don't live in Phoenix.
That's okay. The 2020 elections are coming up.
definitely.
The nationals, so that's good. You know.
Yes. And I'm from Chicago.
All right. What part of Chicago?
Chicago's in there.
Southside.
That's too bad.
Rob, you had a question, didn't you?
He said too bad.
You want to ask?
You
wanna-
want me to sit down?
Being from Chicago is kind of important to me, but I wanted to know when I worked with another employer that I'll leave nameless right now, but I also was on an advisory committee for restorative justice, and I really want to know what your opinions are on that, because a lot of people, especially a lot of minorities, are really affected by having family members and people in prison, and seeing people who haven't done violent crimes get out and still can't catch a break. It's really important for me, for candidates, even in Chandler where I live, to really know your thoughts on how you feel about the idea of not the idea, but the process of restorative justice.
Here in Arizona,
Yeah.
it needs work. It does.
Definitely.
It does. And you're in Chandler, and O.D. Harris is running for city council. I don't know if you know him.
Not personally, but I know exactly who he is.
Yeah. Okay then. Oh, that's.
Yeah.
Well, let me leave that alone. But you're right. Arizona does need some work on that, and we have so many people of different cultures moving here, and that are here that can't get that help, nor are they affording to hit that help. We can't get them back into society to make them civilians again. and it is getting tough. So that's why we need to get some people in the leadership that, and we from Chicago, so we know about that. So if you get people in leadership that can't relate to that, they can't relate to police brutality, they can't relate to their home being broken into, they can't relate to education wise for being in school and not doing that, they can't relate to being promoted at the job, they don't care about that.
Right.
That's the untapped feels in them because they never had to go through that. So we have to get people in these positions that understand that, that's been through that, that's been in the trenches.
Right.
If you're going to get somebody to represent you, to take care of the things that we need, we have to get these people in office.
Right.
We have to, because we've been through the trenches, or a candidate has been through those trenches. They know what it's about.
Right.
They know what it's about, you know? And how can they teach that if they don't know anything about it?
Right.
They don't know anything, or nor they even care about it.
Definitely.
So we have to get people in position that understand that, you know, and we were all young, and of course we did things that, you know, cut this section out, okay? But we've done things that, you know, in the environment, we did what we thought was surviving. We didn't know what was right or wrong.
Right.
Exactly.
We did things following the group, you know. And when I grew up, when I was 16, I was dating a 27-year-old woman.
Right.
I was. That's what we did, you know. And she taking me through the game. It wasn't about no education or nothing like that. I didn't pick that up till later.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then she gets me out there, and who we hanging around with, you know, that we looked up to. You know, they was the players. I'm being real. They was the players with the Cadillacs, the pretty women. So we start growing up in that. So then we get in trouble. We don't know why we getting in trouble. Now we're in the system.
Yeah.
Right? You're in the system. A lot of us didn't make it out of the system, and we can't get that help because we get people now that we understand politics, and that's the only way. You know, we have to have black policemen, we have to have black judges, we have to have black senators, we have to have black mayors, we have to have black governors that's been through that. But what they say, oh no, you're not right.
Right.
You're not right. Not that you're smart enough to handle the job. So we have to get the people into these positions that understand that, to give, and I don't really want to say this, but to give us that second chance, because once we get older, we already understand now from right and wrong. So now how can I take this to get this off my back, because I can't get the job, I can't get into the schools, I can't get into these things, but I need to get this off my back because now I don't know anything about the legal system. Now we need black lawyers. We need somebody that's going to help us.
Yeah.
But how can we get to the table? We got to get to the table first.
Right.
We got to get to the table first, because those that has not been through that can care less.
Yeah.
Can care less.
Yep.
That don't involve them. It don't involve their kids. And if it do, then the situation probably can take care of that. They're not gonna pay it forward though.
Like, a lot of us aren't really. We really lack the knowledge.
The knowledge
For restorative justice.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yep.
I know it was probably like 10 years ago for me when I was working at Dunkin' Donuts, and you know, I'm not gonna say no offense, but it was a white lady who told me about being able to have her record hidden or expunged
Sure.
to where she
can vote and be a member of society,
she could
and
actually get a job to actually keep the job, to be able to pay rent, pay her fines, pay everything off, and then be able to work up towards getting her rights back.
And a lot of people don't know those things,
Yeah,
right?
Well,
no, they don't.
You take this for instance, because I get people rights restrained. How do you do that? You know, because I go down there, I'm your voice now.
Right.
You know, because when I go down to the court, I don't need you there. I got all your records. I know what it is. They got all your records.
Right.
So I'm coming down there as your voice now.
Right.
Like you said, I'm here to speak up. You know, and the judge, no, no, and then why no? Because I'm gonna pull out my backpack, all the statistics that all these people rights are restored, and they're the same way. So there's some injustice here. So are we gonna go into a different category? Because I will come back.
Right.
So no, we'll restore his rights. Yeah, we'll restore his rights. So like you said, we have to have a voice there to speak for us. Because when you bring in the statistics and the numbers of the same thing, the same people, it's time for some justice. It's time for some justice.
Right.
Because if you can't compare one to another, and you can't tell me the difference, you got to do the right thing. Absolutely. You have to do the right thing. If not, we got another problem. Yeah. And I got a big enough mouth for that. Right. You know, you can't say go sit in the corner, or like you say, you can't say, I'll take your job away from you. All that. I don't work for nobody. Yeah. So I get a chance to speak what I want to say, and I'll do it intelligently too. So yeah, that's amazing. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Just for social real quick. I know we have.
You registered to vote? Okay, yeah, just making sure.
He asking everybody to come to the door. You will be by the end of the
You already
episode.
will? Okay, then. I just making sure, I just making sure.
All right, let you speak. We have a little bit of time left. See what y'all have.
So we have
future man.
We have a couple concepts we want to know. There's a lot like immigration. There's how women in the political industry run and everything. Like, we had a couple of inquiries. Do you have any ones that you wanted to add?
Like, what would you do to help improve the Phoenix or Arizona relations with the Native Americans?
You talking to me personally or as a mayor? Cause
as a mayor.
Okay, that's not on the mayor's level. You get into the state level.
Really?
So that would be in the House of Representatives.
They just not.
That would
That's state, huh?
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that either.
Okay.
Yeah,
So let's do it as a prisoner's point then.
and that's another one. That's on the state level.
On the
See,
state
the mayor is just to take care of his people in the
Phoenix
city,
Industry, yeah.
right? But legislation and legislation laws and getting the bills, to the Senate and getting them passed.
It's
things
all up
like
to the
that,
state
that,
government.
well, you're going to go to the House of Representatives. So when you start voting for your House of Representatives, those are the questions that you need to pose to them.
Right.
Now, I could be, as a mayor, I could be the voice for that.
Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna write up a resolution. I'm gonna shoot it. I'm gonna shoot it to my man.
Right.
Hey man, let's see, can we work on this? Because we got a problem
Right.
in my little certain city of my Native Americans. I need to take care of.
Right.
You know what I mean? Before it's passing laws and bills, that's on the legislation level.
Okay.
And I tell people, just like you said, well, I didn't know that. This is why I tell people when they ask me, well, I need to immigrate. That really has nothing to do. Not being harsh, but that's not in the mayor's field.
Yeah,
What about
That's not in the mayor's field. But can I be a voice? Of course. Now, when I get to be governor, they start coming up to me. That's something different.
That's something different.
Yeah, because the governor, my voice is big, and I am going to run for governor.
See?
Why not?
This is just a starting point, right?
Sure,
Definitely.
Sure. And I've been asked, what you gonna do when you get in there? What you gonna do in the next 4 years? I don't plan on being there the next 4 years. I'm going after the governor's job. I'm gonna train you so you could be the mayor, so I can move
Is
on.
that the same thing with prison reforms and?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because and you get an assistant, and like you say, prison reforms. We have to understand legislation. You know,
Okay.
we have to understand the process. You know, and executive, judicial. We have to understand those portions of
Right.
it. You can't go in there blind.
Right.
Now you can be an advocate. That's something different.
Right.
You could be an advocate to get on TV to make a lot of noise and hoping it get to the people to understand.
Right.
But you're gonna have to have somebody in legislation that's willing to hear it.
Right.
Just willing to hear it.
Yeah, because a lot of people have, they're upset about this and that, but it's like if you don't do your research and everything, understand how everything works and stuff, they can't argue with you or like, oh well you should figure this out, and you're like, no, that's not my department.
No,
Like,
I would never do. I would never do that. It'll become a training field with me then.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, I mean, because if you look at it, our 3 rules of government, you start with the legislation, right?
Right.
Then you got to go to judicials, right?
Right.
And then it gets to the executive. This is a process. So if you understand the process, you get something done.
Yeah, you'll
Right.
get something done. Because a lot of people, like, a lot of people are pro-Trump or, not pro-Trump, but it's like, a lot of people, oh, well, he should figure this out. It's like, there's a lot of stuff that he can do and a lot of stuff that he can't do.
Sure.
Get blocked.
And you're exactly right. And they always ask me, questions about Trump, and am I a supporter of Trump? And am I this? Am I that? And I got to say, he is the president. You put him there.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
You put him there, so
Right.
he is the president.
He is the
So
president.
I'm gonna respect the chair. I'm gonna respect the throne,
The office.
the office.
Yep.
I'm gonna respect that. And no, he has not been to the military. And yes, he's done all these things. Yeah, but if that president walks on a Marine, you better salute him.
Yep,
Right.
exactly.
You better salute him.
Right.
Your job is to, if you don't want him there, it's time to get together, get him out of there.
Right.
Get him out of there.
I wouldn't salute him, but I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's not my thing.
No, what I'm saying, if you on the military base,
Oh yeah,
you will salute
right,
him.
definitely.
Yeah.
You
will salute
you work
him.
for him, so yeah.
Now you're talking about civilians, of
Right.
course. Now I'm just saying, as a president, he is the chief of staff. And if he walks on a military base,
And you definitely
you got problems if you don't salute.
you
You got
big problem.
You got problem, and the way he think, you got major problems.
Major problem.
Major problem.
Right, his ego is hit.
What I'm saying, like I said, because you didn't vote,
Mm-hmm.
you can't complain about the results. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
He is the president. Our job is, and that's why I say, if you register to vote 2020, you say, well, I don't live in Phoenix. Well, 2020 is coming up. And if we're going to make a difference, let's make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make a difference. Because our vote do count.
Right.
There's a small percentage, but they counting on it.
It's counting.
They counting on it.
Mm-hmm.
They counting on it.
People don't understand that
Your
power.
voice is your vote. Your vote is your voice.
Definitely.
And I
You're
think
right.
that's the issue with a lot of young people, that they don't understand that it's a power. It's a responsibility.
Yes.
But
Yes.
people don't see it that way.
Well, and it could be abuse of power, but he
Yeah.
has that power.
Yeah.
He leads the most powerful country in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Do most people consider him an idiot? Probably so.
I do.
Yeah, sure. I mean, do most people think it's wrong? Probably so.
Yeah.
Okay, but we can't do anything about it until we come
November.
the vote.
Mhm.
Now, if you put him back in there again, you got the same problem.
Yeah.
You got the same problem.
Yeah.
Ain't that the definition of insanity? You
Well,
keep
you
doing
got-
the same thing.
Well, some
over and
people are
over
okay
again.
with it, so that's the problem.
Well, he has serious support and followers, and that's what most people don't understand.
Yep.
Because there's more people that think the way he think than the way we think.
Yeah.
And that becomes the problem.
Mhm.
Now, we take the impeachment, right? There's no way. How are you going to impeach the president when the House is Republican?
Yeah.
They run. There's no way they're going to impeach him, right, and give the House back to the Democrats. Obama had it for 8 years. They want it for 8 years. So they're not going to impeach him.
Right.
They're loyal to the party.
No.
They
Right.
ain't loyal to him. They can't stand him.
But you know
they're
they-
loyal to
They
the
did it in
party.
the '90s also. You know what I'm saying? So it's, to me, it's. I think it was a situation of, we have to hold him accountable in some type way. So we have to at least put him in the history books accountable for what the mistakes that he made. If they didn't do that, then it would be like they're just like, all right, we just didn't do anything.
Here's his plan, and I'll say it proudly. Here's his plan. I think he really doesn't care about the United States. What he wants is infamy.
No.
He wants
Yeah.
100 years from now, and today he want to make sure that he is spoken about every day, whether it's in the media, whether it's on podcasts, whether it's on the corner, whether it's down the street.
Right.
He wants to be his name said every day. He wants to be infamous, whether it's bad or good.
Right.
So 150 years from now, they're gonna be talking about Trump,
Man.
not what he did.
Right.
Why you think he cat and mouse with the media all the time? Media always got the camera in his face, and he gives it to him because he know it's gonna go down in history. He know if he can get his Obama's on TV probably once 3 weeks.
Right.
He's on TV every day.
Yeah.
He's on somebody's radio every day. He's tweeting every day. Somebody is talking about President Trump every day. That's what he wants.
Yep.
That's what he wants. Yep. That's what he wants.
I do want to ask one quick question though about Phoenix locally. I know we have a huge problem with homelessness, and as a Phoenix mayor, I believe that you can to try to face that issue.
Sure.
Do you have any plans to try to help to get maybe any proposals in to get rent lowered or to have rent more affordable homes and housing throughout the city?
That's an excellent question that you asked, because that is one of my platforms.
Okay.
It is affordable homes, safety of the city, and we were just down there day before last week. We were down at the homeless on 12th Street in Jefferson, where they got the tent set up.
Definitely.
And they not realizing they got a building that's over there that's vacant that can store probably 300 beds over there.
I hate that about America.
That the city of Phoenix own.
Right.
You know, man, let's get them them there on the inside.
Right.
You know, some people do want to be homeless, but some want to be helped.
Right.
Right. Now we have this pandemic that's going on, right? And we got to get everybody tested. Nobody's really serious about it.
No.
You compare us to the other states, man. We still out in the streets. We doing what we do, and nobody's looking at the homeless. So they say we all have to get tested. Who's testing the homeless?
Right.
Who's testing them?
That comes to me from social medicine to me, man, and I think that we need, I'm a big advocate of social hospitals and social medicine because everyone can't afford this medicine, man, and everyone should be able to just walk to this. Should be a right to health care, and it shouldn't be a privilege as it is now. So people should be able to go to the hospital and get tested whenever they want to. And, on a national scale, we've lost it. Socialism gets compared to communism. What do you think we could do as Democrats to kind of clear those things up? I don't know if you're progressive or not on the progressive scale, but I know I am more. I push more to progressive because I think that we need to go a different way as a country because people can't afford health care.
And that's correct, and that's why they're trying to eliminate the things that Obama has progressed for us to have.
That's true.
Health care, and I'll say this because you say as a Democrat, I'm not talking as a human being.
Right. Definitely.
As a humanitarian.
Correct.
As a person that has a heart, and I'm saying that our leaders know nothing about that.
Right.
Because most of them are well off.
They haven't seen it.
If they're not dealing with it,
right.
If they don't have to deal with it, they won't deal with it because they have no resource in their heart to say, hey, we need to get people some health care because it's no concern to them. That's why I was saying we have to get people in these positions. A few of us that maybe been homeless, we know the deal. We know the deal, and we can make some changes. And funding is so important. Just like we were talking about the homeless. The mayor, we need to set funding for the homeless. Right. We need to set funding for medication. We're getting all this funding, right? Yeah, we got to repair our streets. We know that. But if we repair all of our streets in the bigger parts of the city, and nobody's delivered to go on, don't mean a darn thing. It doesn't mean a darn thing. So we have to take care of us first, just like this pandemic thing here. We have to take care of ourselves first. But who got the heart to do that? So you say if I go in there in the mayor, that's one of my goals. We got to get the homeless people some help. Yeah. We got to get them off the streets. Yep. Yeah, okay, we don't borrow them a few tents and stuff like that, but man, let's get something over their head because we have buildings in Phoenix that we can shelter them that are empty.
Yes, sir.
That are empty. I'm serious. If we can fundraise and get on Facebook and say, well, we're gonna give a couple of dollars to St. Jude's to some people we don't even know. Right. And here we got them in our city. How come we can't do a fundraiser for them?
Exactly.
Why not?
True.
Maybe that would initiate something. Seeing the money's coming back to locally.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, don't donate money to all these funds around the world, but once they see it coming back, they're like, oh well, it's actually working.
Yes.
Like people will probably change that.
Well, and then again, now we're talking politics and budgets of the city and budgets of the state. We have to allow for that. You know, we do, because we ran into a crisis right now, and we've gotten the money from the United States. You know, and that's how we sold. You know, oh man, I'm gonna wait on my $1,200. What $1,200 gonna do?
That's right.
I'm serious.
That's right.
I'm serious. You got people quitting their jobs because they're getting more money for unemployment, right?
Yeah.
Right? And me and my past master, we were just talking about this morning. The rule of ethics is, if the employment is high, what follows?
Homelessness, people going through the system. And what's the word?
The economy, right?
What's the biggest one?
Crime.
Oh,
you got 22 million people.
Yeah.
That's out of work.
Their jobs,
and when that money runs out, guess what?
Yeah.
You better start holding on to some things.
That was one of my next questions. I asked you, how do we lower the crime in Phoenix? Because there's a lot of crime here. Tita has the the Citizen app, and there's every day there's just crime going on. And how do we lower that?
Well, and here's the thing, because I came from Chicago, and I was in the mix of the crime and didn't really realize it.
Yeah.
It became normal.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, pop in the air. You keep it moving. You know what I mean? Somebody got.
You stop hearing gunshots, you just keep.
You pay no attention to it.
Right.
But since I moved here, I was like, how did Phoenix stay off the map? Because there's a lot of crime here.
Yes.
There's some bad boys here.
Yes.
And girls. You know. And so how are we going to lower the crime? Because the people that's creating the crime don't have jobs. Right? And when he was talking about reform, because most of them come out of jail, they can't get no jobs. They can't. What they go to?
Crime. Right back to what they know.
Crime. So we have to cut it off the path, and before they can get to that. So that is the reform system. So we make improvements to our inform system, and before they get to the streets, and make them advocates and teachers, you'll start lowering the crime.
I have a question too. I just what I kind of noticed. I don't know if this all the way true. I don't know too much about prisons and all that, but I know a lot of women prisons have programs where women can work.
Yep.
And when they come out of prison, they have money in their pocket. And they also have an apartment the women can go to. I don't really see those stories with men prisons. Why is that, you think?
It is there, but
It's there.
But you have to remember, because now the prison, now you're getting back in the budget, so they allow enough budgets for them to get them apartment to only last 3 or 4 months, right?
Okay.
That's cool, you know. But if you don't give them no job, right?
How they gonna keep the
Yeah.
apartment?
And if they, that's simple math.
'Cause
And they can't go, if they can't get in the job because they got a record here, that's
Right.
going to run out.
Yeah.
And
Right.
when that
Yes,
run
sir.
out,
Yes,
what
sir.
they do, they trickle back out to the streets. Yeah.
Right.
So
And
you have to have a better reform system.
The recidivism is definitely a issue, and I believe that we have to remove records once someone meets the stipulations of their
Their time.
parole or their time. They should be able to get a chance to get that removed from their record, for they can be on and be a normal citizen and vote. I love what Virginia did, and they took away they removed the felonies not being able to vote. I think they did that in Florida also, but they haven't put it in place in Florida because they're still.
Virginia they did.
But Virginia, they voted.
be
The
able to
people
vote.
voted for it in Florida,
Yeah.
but the Republicans are fighting it there.
And
But
why are they fighting it?
because they don't want those people to vote. They know who those people are going to be Democrats 9 times out of 10.
Well, it's come a number game then.
Right.
You're improving your numbers now. Yeah, so you're absolutely right. And that's what I'm doing now, is trying to get their rights restored, get it off their record,
that's
so
a good idea.
they can get that change. Because we got some positive people, thinkers, and movers that have done their time. And they have not got into any trouble.
Right.
That's why I say we got to get you back to the table.
Yeah.
But somebody's got to be there to speak for you.
Definitely.
And, you know, and that's what I say. Once I show you, you show the next person.
Right.
Get that chain going. You know, get that chain.
man.
Yeah, you may have if they've done their time, they haven't gotten in trouble. It's a good percentage chance once they get the rights, they're not going to get back in trouble. Of course, you know, if you do the full rights and they are as a carrier, you hoping, you know, that they're carrying to protect their family, protect themselves, you know, not to go out in the street. You know, man, you want to be legal to carry. And most, I've restored, including after yesterday, 198 men and women that are back to the table.
And able to vote, wow.
Yeah, and they can vote. But here's the problem, because I've done a lot, and I got a small percentage that says, I said, okay, you got your rights restored. Okay, next is I'm going to get you registered to vote. And they say, well, I don't want to really register to vote. And I question, I said, why not? And they say, well, I don't want to be a part of the record.
That part, yeah, okay.
I like, partner, you was already part of the record. I just got you on the other side of the
You're
record.
already in the system, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Let's
take advantage of it.
Yeah, now we have to sit down. Let me pull you in. Yeah, let me pull you in. Now I have to educate you on that because you're already part of it. Well, I don't want them to know where I'm at. I said, you got a cell phone in your back pocket?
Right.
Well, yeah. I said, they know where you at already.
They already see, yes, sir.
In today's time, you can't get away with it. You can't. It's too many cameras. You just can't. DNA, you just can't. No. So don't even try. You can't outslick it anymore. So it's time to get to the table, and that's what I say about restoration of their rights. You know?
Definitely.
There's like a lot of stories. Like there's Cynthia. What's her name?
Oh, Cynthia Brown.
Cynthia Brown and other people who, you know, if they go from the convictions that they had then to now, they would have not gone to jail. It would have been self-defense or anything else, you know. So I think like those little like minority convictions and stuff shouldn't be withheld and stuff. But who gives them back that time?
That's right. That's true. That's right.
That's right. Yeah, I know we had you for a long time here. I appreciate you.
Oh no, I'm getting steak the next time I come back. I'm tell you, man.
Definitely gonna get steak the next time you come.
And I would like to ask some questions too, so I can donate some money. All right. There's some great questions too.
Did you have anything else you wanted?
No, man. I have everything. He answered all my questions, man, and I'm definitely behind you. We're with you here at the DanYo&Tita podcast. We definitely will be with your campaign and anything that we can help do to help. You know, maybe you want to do a show, you know what I'm saying, a campaign, finance show or something.
Put it on we'll remind people every show too to vote.
Yeah, to vote and get out and definitely.
Get registered to vote.
Definitely. So let us know anything we can do to help.
Your man is running. We need to support that.
Definitely.
We'll
remind people every time. I want to thank you for being a voice for the people.
We appreciate you.
And you know, and the way that you're involved in the community, we're thankful. We need people like you more. To help us out.
Well, no problem. I'm down to earth. Once I become mayor, trust me, if you come up to me, I'm gonna speak to you.
Right.
That's real. That's real.
Yes, sir.
And it's a influence also.
I know you.
A great influence also, I think, for other black males. You know what I mean? To show that you can be a leader in your community and you can run for mayor and you can have aspirations to be governor or president and do whatever you want. So I also want to give you a hand for that, for being a great influence for the area.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
An excellent job, and you said you've been in a year, so I'll be also promoting that, and I appreciate that because when you're starting something and you're being successful, just keep up the work.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
Keep up the work.
Thank you.
I'm proud of that.
Yes, sir. Just said like Dip said, anything that we can do to help out with your campaign, please let us know.
Definitely let us know. Yep.
November 3rd, 2020.
Definitely.
If I find out if you voted for somebody else.
All right. I thank you for coming in. Yes, you gotta get some of these muffins.
Please.
We taking some of those.
Definitely, man. We got a package we taking already. We looking at
it. Which one you looking at?
I got the blueberry in mine already.
Oh man, that's the one I want.
Right.
Yeah, I tell you what, PM, he covers a lot of things for me. He does the recording, he does the videos. He has so many doggone hats. He's my PR man. He's also a past master of my organization.
Okay, yes, sir.
Very intelligent and smart, and you see how tall he is.
Yes, sir. I was walking fast, so I was like,
he's security also, huh?
He is security. But you'll be seeing him often because I keep him with me, and he takes good care of me.
Definitely.
He does. So,
appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
keep him safe.
Yeah, keep him safe. We need him. We need him. We need him. Community needs him.
Also, he has your face also recorded, so like I say, it's hard to get away with anything.
Yeah,
Right.
They know what you look like now, Tita.
All
All
right,
right.
pleasure is mine. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
no
I
problem.
appreciate it.
It's the DanYo&Tita podcast.
We out next week.
Hey, I told you I was gonna have a cool minute.